Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So, if you hear any noise, that's the air from my car. It's hot outside, so I need the air. Excuse the acne. That's a part of pregnancy. I'm almost 6 months. I want to thank you all for the well wishes and the congratulations. I'm surprised that I'm actually cool, because I thought I was going to be nervous. I might be nervous when it gets to the point where I'm about to have the baby, because that would be my first time having a baby. I never been in labor before. Hopefully everything goes well and stuff like that. So last video I did my opinion and commentary and all of that good stuff on the Selena series part 2, episode 1 through 3. I watched episode 4 through 8. I think 4 through the end last night. I didn't mean to watch all the rest of it, but I was just like, let me just watch it. Because it wasn't like it was that good to the point where I couldn't put it down. I didn't have anything else to watch, so I just watched the rest of it. So this video is not going to be long, because I pretty much said everything about that series, period, throughout my Selena series, throughout my channel. Now, what I've gotten so far from the last episodes of, that I watched last night. First of all, whoever they pick, whoever the casting director is, should be slapped in the face, because whoever chose the lady to play Tina Knowles, Beyonce Knowles, and Solange, that was a terrible choice. Like, I wouldn't even, when I saw that, I was like, who is this? Who are they? I thought it was just random fans or somebody, in the area. And then when she said Beyonce Knowles, I'm like, what? That girl looks nothing like Beyonce Knowles. They could have just picked her daughter. They should have just picked Blue Ivy to play her or something. But I guess because she wasn't the age that Beyonce was when she met Selena. But the girl is tall. Like, Blue Ivy is very tall for her age. So I'm sure with makeup or something, they could have made her look a little older. But that lady, whoever played Beyonce, she did not do Beyonce justice. She looked nothing like Beyonce. The woman that played her mom looked nothing like her. Like I said, I know that characters do not have to look exactly or identical, but you got to have some type of essence. I didn't see no type of essence of the Knowles girls at all. At all. And yeah, enough with that. So, what my take on the whole rest of the episodes of that series, part 2, was it was just all over the place. Like I've been saying, it was all over the place. It was a lot of things that weren't right in that in there. It seemed like they were making Chris look not bad, because some people said that they made Chris look bad. They didn't really make him look bad. They made him, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say bad, because they didn't make him look bad. They made him look a little needy. I would say like needy. Like he did whatever Selena told him to do. Like he was her pet or something. Even though I know in real life, Selena did have him wrapped around his finger, but not in a bad way. Not in a way like not in a cocky way, I would say. It was more of that he was just very much in love with her, and she was very much in love with him, and he was willing to go to the ends of the world for her. That is different from just being somebody's flunky. But that's what they make him appear to be, like her flunky or whatever. So the parts that I felt that they twisted was the last part when she met up with Yolanda. First of all, according to Chris, Chris did not know that she was meeting up with Yolanda the day that she got killed. She got up really, really early in the morning. He was still asleep. She was showering. She got herself up, and she went. According to him, I guess he thought that she was going to run some errands and then possibly meet up with her father or whatever, or her brother later on that day or whatever. But he did not know that she was going to meet up with Yolanda. But in the series, they made it seem they put it as though she told him in the bed, that in that little small ass bed, when in reality they had a California king size bed where they used to wave at each other because just to be funny, because their bed was so wide. But that was a full size bed that they had in that movie. And then they had a octangular, what is it called? I think it's a like the octagon type of headboard, whereas though in that series it was more of a oval, it was like a round shape. So that was wrong. And the whole outline of that house was wrong. Like, from the pictures that I've seen on Instagram of their living room, and from the little snippet of that interview that Chris and Selena had, which I wish they will just put out the full interview, dictator, because I want to see that full interview. You can see the house, and it looked nothing like what they had in that studio version of their house. Excuse me. But anyway, I'm off topic. Yeah, they never talked about seeing Yolanda the next day in the bed. He did not know she went to go see her. Had he known, he would have went with her. Now they didn't even put in the series that they went to meet her the night before she died. They just put that they just show her doing taxes, and then they went to, and they she said she thought that Yolanda gave her all of the documents, but she realized that she didn't. So, and then they cut it and put it, and then they were in bed talking about, I'm gonna go see Yolanda tomorrow. And he was like, you want me to come with you? She was like, no. First of all, that's not what happened. They were doing taxes together. Once she realized, well, not doing taxes together. She was doing her taxes. She told him that, that she didn't give all the documents to her. She talked to Yolanda that night, and they were and she was telling her that she was coming to get retrieve the other part of the documents that she did not give her. Chris drove her to the hotel, waited for Selena in his truck while she was in the room. He felt like she was taking too long just to get retrieve documents, so he went up there to see what was going on. So that's what happened the night before, but they did not put that in the series. And because they dragged on a lot of the events in the series as a whole, they could have added that in there, but they chose not to. And then they try to fake like he knew about her going to Yolanda, making it seem like it's his fault. Like he knew that she was going to see Yolanda. Why didn't he go with her? He did not know she was going to go see Yolanda the day that she got killed. She did not know. I mean, he did not tell her. Then they failed to put in the fact that his father was staying with them that week, and she forgot that he was staying over there. And when he left out the room and she was on like headed out the door, he startled her. They didn't put that in the series. Why not? Like I said, they try to yes, in certain aspects they were trying to make him look kind of bad, but not like that to the point where they made him look like a horrible person. They just made him look like he was a flunky, like he had no mind of his own when it came to Selena. Now, there were times in his book when he, Selena will ask him to do something, he'll do it. In certain aspects, it did seem like he was like, whatever you say, Selena. But it was just that he was young and he was madly in love. But she would do the same thing. She would, she was there for him. She would do whatever for him. However, she was about her career, and she was about her hustle. And she wasn't going to let him or nobody take that away from her. She was very stronghold with what she want going for in her life. Versus Chris, he was, just a supportive husband. Not just a supportive husband, like he ain't had no ambition. His ambition was to do his own rock band. And another thing, speaking of rock band, in the series, they made it seem like Selena was like, if you want to do your rock band, go ahead and do it. But in reality, she didn't want him to do it, because she feared that she would never see him, because he will be doing his thing, she'll be doing her tours and stuff, and then she feared that he will be unfaithful, because that's what she grew up around, a lot of musicians. Not saying that she didn't have faith in her husband, but she knew how musicians were and how they were on the road with a bunch of guys, and she feared that he was going to turn into one like that. So, and she talked to him about that, but they didn't put that in the series. So that's what I'm saying. They purposely take stuff out and twist it, or they just purposely just take it out altogether, because they want to paint Selena like a perfect picture and paint him like he's, a flunky, or, whatever you say, Selena, and so forth and so forth. No, it wasn't like that. Selena had her moments where she would, lash out and be a little bit difficult. She's not perfect. She was human. Stop making her out to be this perfect angel. She's not. No one is. Period. And, like I said, the way that they ended the series was some bullshit. Like, they didn't even show, what happened between Yolanda and Selena. They didn't show the arguments or whatever that was going on in the room. They just showed, the cleaning people cleaning the rooms, and then you hear a gunshot. What the hell is that? Because I'm sure that family got enough evidence and enough information about what went on in that room, dictator. But he chose, even though Susie Q, is the director, or, that was her project, but I'm sure dictator had some say in what goes and what didn't. He probably did not want her to put in what went on in that room. But I know that because they went to court for it and they talked about it. I just feel like, because we didn't get a chance to see that in the movie, the interaction between Yolanda and Selena in that hotel. They could have depicted that in the series, since they want to make it be more realistic. But it really wasn't. I mean, it was in certain parts. I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but they could have elaborated on that part between that. But what happened between them two in the hotel? They didn't have to show the gruesome part about her getting shot and stuff. But they could have showed the argument, or what really went down in that room. But they didn't do that. And they could have showed her running to the lobby, so we can actually see what really went down when she did get shot. But you didn't have to show the bloody part or anything like that. It was so fluke. It was just really fluke. It was cheesy. And then, I would think that they was going to show the actual Selena at the end of the movie, and they didn't. But I was a little teary-eyed when the record producer cried, breakdown, because it affected a lot of people. I mean, but when I see people cry, I cry anyway. But, I just thought it was really thrown, the end was really thrown all together, they rushed that. And like I said, they really made Abraham, that's the one and only time I would say his name. They really made Dictator look a little more presentable in the series than what he really is in real life. I'm just saying, because he seemed like he was a protected, he seemed like he was a good father. They made it seem like he was a good, as the series went on, they made him seem like, oh, he was just a caring father, that he looked out for her, that he was, he went to Yolanda's the location in San Antonio to get all the documents and all that. But that's not what was told by Chris, and that's not what was told in the movie, and that's not what was, that's not what he said. From what we got and what he said, what Dictator said and all of that, that Martin Gomez was the one that kept going to him and confronting him about Yolanda, and he was brushing it off. He was like, well, you need to talk to Selena about that. And he said he did, and Selena is, not, was not believing him. She was just passive about it. He said, well, he was passive about it when Martin was complaining about Yolanda. He ain't do nothing about it. But once he found out from other co-workers from the boutique that she was stealing and stuff from the boutique, and then then once he found out, I don't know how he found out about her stealing from the fan. I guess fans were complaining, and that's how he knew that it had something to do with Yolanda or whatever. Then that's when he was like more invested into Yolanda, but he still let her off. Just like in the series, he said, I'm going to call the police and I'm going to do an investigation. Actions speak louder than words. He never called the police from what was shown. And even in the series, he didn't call the police. He told her that, I guess, to scare her. And then he told her never set foot in Q Productions ever again. But that's words. You need to have concrete, documentation, meaning like a restraining order, where she can't have 5,000 feet of near the premises of their homes, or the businesses. He didn't even do that. And he didn't call the police. Like I said, he had this depiction of how Chris was based on his looks, and he did whatever he could to get them two apart especially when he noticed that after he got fired, that that Selena wasn't answering her phone, so he figured she wasn't home. So he was getting the map and driving all through Texas trying to find Selena, and went to his house, went to Chris' house to see if Selena was there or have you heard from her. And of course they did, but they wasn't gonna tell him. But he did all that for her because of Chris. But he was real lenient about Yolanda, which I explained that before in previous videos. Like I said, he's very lenient and passive about Yolanda for some odd reason. Because he should have called the police on her, because that was a crime. Embezzlement, stealing from your job, is a federal crime. And she could have got like at least, I don't know the amount of years in Texas, but I mean at least 5 years in the prison or whatever, and then get a restraining order so she can't have 5,000 or whatever feet from their house, from their businesses. And then by then, while she's in prison for embezzlement, Selena and Chris was already contemplating on moving. So they would have been already moved into their house and all of that in a gated community by the time Yolanda got out of jail. And then she would have probably and then by then they could hire more, people in her camp to protect her, which she should have had, because she was at that star level, whether it was mainstream or in the Latin community. Like they said in the series, it was at that stardom where she should have had people in her camp to protect her, and she only had her family. Her family can't do but so much because they have their own lives. Whereas though she should have had people that are paid to protect her, and she didn't. And like I said, I'm not only blaming one person. I'm gonna say this. To be honest, everybody in her family was very lenient on Yolanda and very lenient on Selena, because I mean, of course, they're not paid to, protect her all the time because they have their own lives. But still, it's like once they found out about Yolanda, all of them were lenient towards her. None of them called the police. None of them filed a restraining order against her. None of them. Regardless of the fact that Selena was still trying to trust her, they not like Selena. They should have called the police. If Abraham didn't do it, one of them should have did it, and they should have got a restraining order on her ass, and and put her in prison for embezzlement. Because like I said, that is a crime. They basically let a criminal go free, and then look what happened. All this could have been prevented, and it's sad because it was as simple as that. It could have been prevented. But nobody was really thinking at that time, and thinking about what could have. Just because you didn't think that Yolanda would kill somebody, the fact of the matter, she stole thousands and thousands of dollars could have caused Selena to go to prison for tax evasion because of what she done. Like, they should have put her ass in prison for stealing from the workplace. It's a federal crime. It's a crime. And they put a Band-Aid on it. So that's what pissed me off about the whole scenario. But like I said, overall, the series was okay. I'll give it 3 stars. But I feel like I knew they wasn't going to tell the story right. And like I said, this story was mainly about Suzette. Because most of the stuff you keep seeing is the dialogue between Suzette and Selena. And it was just, whatever. I can't wait to see Chris's series. I heard from someone on Instagram that he won the case. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's true or not because I haven't seen any articles, but then again, I haven't researched any. Maybe I will. But if that is true, congratulations to him, and hopefully he get the rights that he deserved, and hopefully he comes out with a series to tell his side of the story and the right story. But that's all I have for you guys today. Happy Juneteenth, and I'll come back with another video. If I don't come back with one next week, it's because I'm taking a break. Maybe because I do have a lot going on. I have celebrations, people graduated, birthdays and stuff, so I may not do a video next week or the week after, and then the following week is 4th of July and all that. So I may come back with another video in about a couple of weeks or a few weeks. Bear with me. All right, peace. Also, I forgot to add the part about in the series about the murals of Selena on her walls, on Yolanda's walls, and the candles lit. I know that Martin Gomez has stated that when he and a co-worker went to retrieve some stolen fabric or something that Yolanda stole, and they saw that, what they should have done was they should have went back instead of telling Selena, because of course Selena's not gonna believe them because it was word of mouth. They should have went back. The way they went over to Yolanda house, they retrieved whatever they needed to retrieve. They should have went back over there and got a disposable camera, went back over there and retrieved and got pictures of the mural and stuff on her walls and the candles and all of that. And then they should have just developed them and showed it to Selena and said, look, this woman is crazy. She's obsessed and possessive of you. You need a restraining order. Look at this. And then he should have showed it to Abraham and the rest of the family so they can get police involved and got a restraining order, because that is not normal. But they didn't do that. And also, the way they made Yolanda look, they made her look like a freaking big baby. They made her look so nice and pleasant when she looked like a monster in real life. They should have got somebody better looking to play Yolanda, but that's just my opinion. But I forgot to mention that. But that's what Martin Gomez and that co-worker of theirs should have did. They should have went back and took pictures and got evidence and showed it to not only Selena but the family and the police, so they can get a restraining order. And maybe she would have still been alive to this day, because she would have went to jail for embezzlement and just being a creep. But yeah, last rant. On another note, after I talked about the Martin Gomez should have, and the person that he went with to retrieve stolen property, fabric or whatever from Yolanda's house, once they show them the pictures of the mural and all that, this is my hypothesis. This is what should have happened. Then that way they have enough evidence to, get a restraining order and put her in jail for embezzlement, because she had checks that had her signature on it that showed that she stole thousands of dollars. Because like I said, that is a crime. They could have put her in jail for at least up to 5 years or whatever, or how long people for embezzlement go to jail for. Get a restraining order. That way, by then, during that 5-year period, they will change the locks on the businesses, get armed security for all businesses, including when her and Chris move into their dream home, that it be a gated community with armed security, and then that way hire people in her camp to protect her, that are paid to protect her and her family, and all of that, then she would have still been alive today. Like I said, her death pisses me off because it could have been prevented. But that is my take on it. That is what I felt like should have happened, and that I felt like would have protected her. But like I said, you can't be born, you can't choose the people, the family you were born into. But that's my take on it. And that's my last rant for the day. Peace.